also on Key Radio 103.3 FM. And I am Mamna Buka. Thank you for joining us. Here are the headlines. At the 17th Met Days Forum in Tangier, Morocco, President Barrow met with his Liberian counterpart, President Joseph Boakai, for bilateral talks before touring the extensive Tangier Med port. Both presidents also received special awards. In Guinea-Bissau, one day after a military takeover, the junta has announced a transitional president and new head of the armed forces. The Gambia Fire and Rescue Services held an open day in Bansang Central River region to engage residents and highlight the vital role the service plays in protecting public safety. The Gambia Armed Forces, in partnership with the Islamic Military Counterterrorism Coalition, graduated 49 security personnel at the GAF Training School in Fajara, following a 3-week intensive counterterrorism training program. In international news, we explore how China is turning its vast deserts into renewable energy hubs, with solar and wind farms fueling the nation's energy needs while combating climate change. These and more coming ahead. Do stay with us. Now, on the sidelines of the 17th Med Days Forum in Tangier, Morocco, President Barrow and his Liberian counterpart, President Joseph Boakai, held a bilateral meeting. Both men also received special awards. Later, the Gambian leader embarked on a guided tour of the expansive Tangier Med port, operated by Tangier Med Special Agency. Ali Sise reports.
During the meeting, President Barrow congratulated President Boakai on Liberia's election at the UN Security Council as a representative of the ECOWAS bloc. The two leaders underscored the importance of strengthening cooperation and solidarity within the sub-region.
We want to take this opportunity to congratulate Liberia for their election to the Security Council, non-permanent member, and as a country from ECOWAS. ECOWAS is our sub-regional arena. So they are representing ECOWAS. We needed to come and assure them of our support and also discuss security issues around our sub-region. So basically, this was the main discussions and also intelligence sharing between our countries so that we can see how best to address misinformation and disinformation.
Nothing more than a brother meet our sub-region and our ECOWAS. Thank you very much.
In a separate engagement, President Barrow on Wednesday toured the Tangier Med Special Agency, the body that manages the vast Tangier Med port and its network of industrial and logistic zones. Strategically located on the Strait of Gibraltar in northern Morocco, Tangier Med serves as a critical logistic platform connecting to more than 180 ports worldwide. The port complex, operated by Tangier Med Special Agency, spans approximately 3,000 hectares, combining cargo and passenger terminals with integrated economic zones, all powered entirely by renewable energy. Ranked first in Africa and 17 globally, the port handled around 10 million containers in 2024, marking an 18.8% rise compared to 2023. It hosts more than 1,000 companies in sectors ranging from automotive and aviation to electronics, textiles, and agribusiness. Also on the sidelines of the main event, President Barrow has been awarded the Grand Prix Mid-Days 2025. The citation relating to the award recognizes President Barrow's commitment to cooperation and dialogue in strengthening peace and stability both at home and globally. President Barrow once again affirmed that size is not important, but what we do to promote dialogue, peace, and democracy for us to advance as developing states that counts. In his statement, President Barrow also highlighted the importance of collaboration and collective action in achieving Africa's development goals, including opportunities for economic growth. The Media's Forum is from 26th to 29th November. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
In Guinea-Bissau, one day after a military takeover and the day on which disputed presidential election results should have been announced, the junta has announced a transitional president and new head of the armed forces.
Senhores oficiais generais, membros do Alto Comando Militar para restauração da segurança nacional e ordem pública.
That was Guinea-Bissau's new transitional president, General Horta Inta, taking the oath of office on national television. He later announced the appointment of Major General Thomas Jassy as Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces. In a dramatic turn of events, after both main candidates had claimed victory, President Barrow was reportedly detained by mutinous soldiers before being released hours later. His main opponent, opposition leader Fernando Diaz da Costa, and dozens of his supporters have been arrested, their whereabouts currently unknown. The opposition leader did record a video later denouncing the coup, which was circulated by his party, the PAIGC. For many, the timing of the coup was no coincidence and is being viewed with deep suspicion. Incumbent President Umaro Sissoco Embalo was widely expected to lose the vote, but now the democratic process has been derailed yet again in a country long scarred by political instability. Apart from a few PAIGC supporters taking to the streets, there has been no resistance to the coup. However, regional leaders have reacted swiftly, at least on paper. Regional bloc ECOWAS has condemned the coup in strong terms, alongside the governments of Nigeria, Ghana, the Gambia, amongst others, all calling for a return to constitutional order. With another democratic transition interrupted by force, the question now is whether Guinea-Bissau can find its way back to civilian rule, or whether it's destined to repeat history. For the rest of West Africa, it is yet another coup in a region with Mali, Guinea, Burkina Faso, Niger, and now Guinea-Bissau all under military rule. The capital Bissau tonight is said to be quiet at the moment, and we await further developments in what is a rapidly changing story. For QTV News, I am Ade Darami.
The Gambia Fire and Rescue Services held an open day in Bansang, Central River Region, to engage residents and highlight the vital role the service plays in protecting public safety. Our Bob has more.
The Open Day formed part of the Gambia Fire Service national outreach efforts to improve public understanding of its work, encourage timely reporting of emergencies, and promote community participation in safety initiatives. The event brought together residents, local authorities, community leaders, a delegation from Avon in the United Kingdom, service chiefs from both the Gambia and Senegal, as well as other dignitaries. Chief Fire Officer Sanko Lindau highlighted the significance of the day, emphasizing the crucial role firefighters play in protecting lives and keeping communities safe.
This day is not just a ceremonial event. It is a moment of reflection, engagement, and education. A chance to open our door to public, building trust with communities we serve and showcase the critical work our officers perform every day in the name of public safety.
Usman Bah, Governor of the Central River Region, commended the significance of the occasion, acknowledging its importance to the community.
Today's gathering is more than a ceremony. It is a critical platform for strengthening collaboration between emergency services and the communities we serve. For safety, prevention, and emergency preparedness are responsibilities that touch every household, every community, every institution, and every life.
Dave Price served as representative of Avon Fire and Rescue Service.
This partnership is about people. Firefighters supporting firefighters, leaders inspiring leaders. It is also about the future. Together we are investing in training, professional development, and the strengthening of emergency response capabilities.
Speaking on behalf of the Ministry of Interior, Pamatar Sise reaffirmed the Ministry's commitment to supporting the Gambia Fire Service.
In the Gambia, the Ministry of Interior is committed to leading major reforms in disaster management mechanisms. The overhaul of the Gambia Fire and Rescue Services Act and the modernization of the fire disaster management system is one of those steps that we are taking to address the current situations. These reforms will meticulously address the pressing challenges of inadequate capacity in terms of both human resource and equipment.
The Bansang Open Day successfully strengthening community safety awareness, fosters public engagement, and reinforce emergency preparedness, leaving residents better informed and more confident in the vital work of the fire service. For Kids News, I am Awabo.
The Gambia Armed Forces, in partnership with the Islamic Military Counterterrorism Coalition, on Wednesday graduated 49 security personnel at the GAF training school in Fajara, following a 3-week intensive counterterrorism training program. Aissatou Barry tells us more.
The program, delivered by seasoned instructors, brought together 24 soldiers from the Gambia Armed Forces Counterterrorism Unit and 25 officers from the Police Intervention Unit. It focused on advanced counterterrorism tactics, intelligence processing, strategic response mechanisms, and operational coordination. The training also highlighted modern approaches to addressing emerging security threats, deepening participants' understanding of global terrorism trends, while strengthening the skills required to protect communities and national interests. Brigadier General Yahya Drame, the commander of the Republican National Guards, Gambia Armed Forces, urged the graduates to foster collaboration and stand together in the fight against terrorism.
The spirit of interagency collaboration and cooperation are essential in the fight against terrorism. I urge you to continue fostering greater collaboration and support to one another as you carry on your respective roles. By working together, we can achieve far more than what we can do as a service.
Brigadier General Yahya Drame further elaborates.
Training has prepared you to respond to emergencies, neutralize threats, and protect lives of innocent citizens. You have learned about the latest tactics, techniques, and procedures in counterterrorism. And I have no doubt that you will apply these skills to a greater effort in your future endeavors.
Kemo Mane, Warrant Officer Class 2 of the Gambia Armed Forces, on behalf of the graduates, commended the trainers and highlighted on some of the trainings they received.
To the training team from Saudi, that is the instructors Eric and Milo, for making this course very educative, although challenging. I thank you. You have taken us through from the corner approaches techniques of opening different doors, fire support within the pairs, hand grenade deployment, just to name a few.
All 49 officers were presented with certificates in recognition of their dedication, hard work, and mastery of essential counterterrorism skills. Established in December 2015, the Islamic Military Counterterrorism Coalition brings together Muslim nations to strengthen their collective fight against terrorism. It supports member states across 4 pillars: military, ideological, communication, and counterterrorism financing, and aims to serve as a global leader and partner in security efforts. The successful completion of this program not only boosts the country's counterterrorism capabilities, but also reinforces the importance of international cooperation in safeguarding peace and stability. Aissatou Barry, QTV News.
We will now go for a commercial break. When we return, we have national and international news stories. Do stay tuned.
Immunisation bàññaaku mooy li gën a wóor te dal xel ci aar xale yi ci feebar mbaa jàngoro yu mel ni ngas ñu naan ko measles, feebaru saxat su bon si di tuberculosis, polio, feebari sedda ñu naan ko pneumonia, cervical cancer, tétanos ak yeneeni jàngoro. Xale bu juddu dafa soxla ay péngu si saasi mbaa bés bu mu juddu maanaam balaa mooy am 20 waxtu ak ñeent. Am na solo lool xale yi mbaa tuut tànk yi góor ak jigéen jël pengu yiñ leen tegtal ci waxtu bu ñu ko war a jëlee comme ni ñu ko bindee ci seen kayiti noosi mbaa infant welfare card xale yépp war nañoo am bépp pengu bu ñu soxla bokk na ci xale yi laago yi xale yi war nañoo jël te matal bépp pengu bu ñu war a am ci seeni njëlbeeni at ak ay yeneeni pengu bu ñu duggee ci seen ñaareeli at am na ci pengu yoo xam ne xale yi dinañu ko jël ay yooni yoon ngir gën leen a mun a aar ñuy ñaax waajuri ak ñi yore xale yi di leen toppatoo ne saa yu ñuy dem lopitaan ñu yóbbaale kayti noosi xale yi mbaa infant welfare card ngir am lu wóor ci mbir immunisation bi mbaa ñàkku xale yi mun ngeen a dem ci bérébu fajeekaay bi leen gën a jege xibaar bii ñi leen ko indil mooy waa Ministry of Health ànd ak UNICEF Gavi WHO ak seen yeneeni naataango.
Browse with us. QCell brings you a promo like never before. Get unlimited internet for just $25. Yes! Recharge $25 and enjoy the convenience of free internet from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. every day with our Browse with Us promo. With this amazing offer, you can browse, stream, and download all your favorite movies for free. So why wait? Recharge $25 today and enjoy free internet only with QCell between 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. For more information, call customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Bus, we innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back, and this is QTV News. Researchers at the MRC Gambia unit of the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine have helped produce a major Lancet health policy report highlighting Africa's growing climate-related health risks. Ali Sise has the details.
The report shows rising economic losses, increased infectious disease, food insecurity, and pressure on already fragile health systems, despite Africa contributing the least to global emissions. Lancet Countdown Africa fellow Dr. Zakaria Ali says Africa already has the base to take action, suggesting this is the moment to build expertise and use existing data to guide effective solutions. Experts say health must be placed at the center of climate action. A new Lancet Countdown Africa Center, now hosted at the University of Pretoria's Future Africa's platform, will coordinate research and provide governments with the data needed to protect communities. Lancet Countdown Africa Regional Center Director, Professor Tavazua Madwadi, says the center will help convert global climate commitments into real protection for African communities. And for Professor Chris Murray of MRC Gambia, collaboration across regions is essential to strengthening global and local climate health responses. Researchers say the continent has the foundation to adapt, but urgent investment, stronger data systems, and equitable climate financing are critical to safeguard lives. According to a press statement from its office, the MRC unit, the Gambia, says it will continue working with the government and partners to safeguard the health of Gambians and Africans as climate change continues to reshape the continent. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
The NEMA Foundation Gambia, through its water sanitation and hygiene program, inaugurated a borehole at Kappa Basic Cycle School in Funyi Kansala to help alleviate the school's shortage of clean drinking water. Mobudu Gajaga was there, and he now reports.
School authorities, students, and the local community are celebrating the installation of the much-needed borehole at Kappa Basic Cycle School. They say the initiative has significantly improved access to clean drinking water, as well as sanitation and hygiene at the school. Louis Allen, chairman of the NEMA Foundation, stated that the organization is committed to making a positive impact in communities.
Today is a festive day and a very special day because we're celebrating our installation of our 20th borehole. This is an important milestone in our journey to bring clean and safe water to the schools and the communities across the Gambia.
As part of the water project, Kappa Basic Cycle School has established a garden to support its feeding initiative, growing crops such as cassava, groundnuts, bananas, and various fruit trees. The school has also integrated water, sanitation and hygiene, worse, education into its curriculum, empowering students to become ambassadors for clean water and good health. Additionally, the school's toilets have been renovated under the project, further enhancing sanitation facilities. Omar I.D. Kinte, principal of Kappa Basic Cycle School, expressed gratitude for the foundation's support.
The borehole in the middle of the school is not benefiting only the students. Staffs, it benefits the staffs, the community members, among other people. Anybody who comes to this school, used to benefit from it. So it's because of them. Before their intervention, there was no water here. Kids have to, move for about, 200 meters, to get water. So a big thanks to Nema Belgium Foundation.
Water is essential to education, as effective learning cannot take place without access to clean water. Abdul Boy, a public health officer representing the CEO of Buyam General Hospital, recalled a recent health and sanitation-related incident at the school.
I can say this is timely because the school authorities can bear me witness. Few months back we were here to address a situation whereby so many children were having diarrhea and vomiting, which I can say could attribute to poor hygiene and poor water, which can lead to that.
Nema Foundation is a charity organization which focuses on supporting communities, schools and health facilities, mainly with water supply. Modu Ba, Secretary General of the foundation, spoke about some of their interventions.
Across the Gambia in our region, we have 20 boreholes in 8 years. So that is a remarkable achievement for a small NGO like NEMA. We do not have the capacity like big NGOs, but we are still building more than we believe actually.
With clean water now assured, Kappa Basic Cycle School looks forward to healthier learning, improved sanitation, and greater community resilience, marking together another meaningful step in NEMA Foundation's mission to uplift local communities. The inauguration ceremony also featured displays of talent, the wearing of traditional attire, plus dancing, poetry, and other forms of entertainment. Mamadou Gajaga, QTV News.
Coming up next is international news. China is converting its deserts into renewable energy hubs, where solar and wind farms supply the nation's power while providing a blueprint for Africa's clean energy growth. Usman Jata tells us more.
China's vast deserts, including the Gobi and Taklamakan, were once seen as barren and inhospitable. Today, they are home to some of the world's largest renewable energy projects, giant solar farms and wind turbines that are turning the harsh environment into a source of clean power. Through this transformation, China is meeting its energy demands and reducing carbon emissions by shifting to renewable energy sources, with solar and wind energy now playing a major role in its energy mix. Dr. Yanzin Gong, a professor of environmental economics at Redmond University of China, explains China's climate mitigation strategy.
We made it very clear about goals for climate mitigation through energy intensity reduction, through energy substitution, for example, substituting wind and solar energy for fossil fuel energies. And we also use forestry as a key sector for climate mitigation.
As the world grapples with climate change, including at the ongoing COP30 in Brazil, China's innovation goes beyond just energy generation. In a pioneering effort, the country is greening its desert landscapes using solar-powered irrigation systems and advanced water-saving technologies to turn barren land into productive farmland. The sustainable agricultural practice help combat desertification and also create economic opportunities for rural communities, providing jobs and improving livelihoods. For Africa, a continent blessed with abundant sunlight and wind, China's model offers an inspiring and practical solution. Africa's deserts such as the Sahara and Kalahari hold vast untapped potential for solar and wind energy. By harnessing these natural resources, Africa could power millions of homes and create new industries while addressing the critical issue of desertification. China's white paper on low-carbon development, which outlines the country's roadmap towards carbon neutrality by 2060, underscores the importance of renewable energy, with renewable energy consumption rising from 16% in 2020 to nearly 20% in 2024. China is rapidly reducing its reliance on fossil fuels and making significant strides in greenhouse gas reduction in line with the Paris Agreement. For Africa, the lessons are clear. Integrating green energy, innovative farming methods, and large-scale environmental reclamation can turn its own deserts into centers of sustainability and resilience. Osman Chata, QTV News, Beijing, China.
That's all we have time for today, but before we go, here's a recap of the headlines. At the 17th Med Days Forum in Tangier, Morocco, President Barrow met with his Liberian counterpart, President Joseph Boakai, for bilateral talks. Both men also received special awards. Later, President Barrow toured the extensive Tangier Med port. In Guinea-Bissau, one day after a military takeover and the day on which disputed presidential election results should have been announced, the junta has announced a transitional president and new head of the armed forces. The Gambia Fire and Rescue Services held an open day in Bansang Central River region to engage residents and highlight the vital role the service plays in protecting public safety. The Gambia Armed Forces, in partnership with the Islamic Military Counterterrorism Coalition, graduated 49 security personnel at the GAF Training School in Fajara, following a 3-week intensive counterterrorism training program. In international news, we explore how China is turning its vast deserts into renewable energy hubs, with solar and wind farms fueling the nation's energy needs while combating climate change. That's all for this news bulletin. Join us again at 10 p.m. for another bulletin. Thanks for watching.